Hey Pokemon fans, Real Mama Eagle here, also known as Key, and in this video I'll be talking about my ideal Pokemon team in Generation 4, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. The opinions in this video are my own based off Pokemon I like to use and Pokemon I think fit well together. Keep in mind I won't be using any aspects of competitive when ranking my teams in addition to 0 legendaries. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and let me know in the comments what Pokemon you like to use in Gen 4. Now let's get started. Generation 4 starters are absolutely incredible. I think to this day still a top 3 group as far as starters, as I said in a previous video. And there's no wrong answer. I've had great runs with Torterra, I've had great runs with Empoleon, but most of the time I generally choose Infernape. Yes, I like fire Pokemon, stop judging me. But Infernape is a great Pokemon with great versatility with the fire and fighting moves, obviously, in addition to just great speed and just great power overall. I love playing with it. It packs a punch, and Infernape's close combat is second to none. But Infernape is a Pokemon that almost is also needed in Gen 4 because Gen 4 is one of the worst generations as far as finding other fire types in the game. In Gen 4, your other real option was Ponyta, and I didn't want to use another Gen 1 Pokemon in Gen 4, so I usually always go with Infernape for that reason. It is impossible for me to play Gen 4 and not catch a Shinx because I love Luxray and that evolution line. It is still to this day one of the best electric Pokemon as far as use and design. Should have been part dark, but you know what? That's not a big deal because you can still teach it dark moves. In addition to the electric, it's also versatile because it can learn a variety of HMs because Gen 4 is riddled with HMs and it definitely helps you along the way. But Luxray is a reliable Pokemon that can definitely be counted on in a pinch, and is a Pokemon I will always have, and is a great compliment to Infernape. I know that I mentioned Togetic in my Gen 2 Ideal Team video. I really love that evolution line and loved it even more when it became Togekiss in Gen 4. It was a necessary evolution and a great Pokemon to have in your party with so much versatility, so much power, so much speed, you would almost call it OP, and it's even more OP in the remakes with that fairy typing. But in order to get your Togekiss, it can be a pain because in Diamond and Pearl, you actually have to look in specific part of grass using a Poke Radar to get a Togepi. Luckily in Pokemon Platinum, they decided to give you a Togepi egg, making it much easier to get one because they probably realized that they were being ridiculous in, Diamond and Pearl with the Togepi. But you also have to wait till the end of the game, late in the game, to get a shiny stone. Iron Island, I believe, is the closest location, but that's super late in Canlab City, so it takes you a while. But once you get it, it absolutely is worth it. You could teach it a plethora of moves. Again, Fly HM definitely comes in handy, but just a Pokemon that's hard to justify not getting. One of the best Pokemon in Generation 4 to this day to me is still Spiritomb. Now, I do love that Dark and Ghost typing, which is why I adore Sableye so much in Gen 3, because prior to the type of Fairy being introduced, it didn't have a weakness, which is why it was so hard to scheme against. But the reason I don't always have a Spiritomb in my party is because it's one of the hardest Pokemon to get. In the original Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, you had to speak to friends underground in order to get Spiritomb, and it had to be a lot of friends. They made that much easier in the remake, allowing NPCs to count as the people you talk to, meaning you could access it easier. But Spiritomb obviously doesn't hold as much power as it did in the original with the introduction of Fairy. But nonetheless, still a great Pokemon to have. Great typing, great moves, great learn set, and just overall great awesomeness. Besides Empoleon and Gastrodon, one of my favorite water Pokemon in Generation 4 is Lumineon. It's such a cute fish, arguably to me, the best designed fish in all of Pokemon just based on its appearance with that beautiful blue. I am biased because blue is my favorite color, but Lumineon is a great Pokemon to get. Now you do have to go through a lot to get to it because you can't fish for one until you get to Iron Island, which is Canlab City, which is pretty far into the game. So you have to get one and then level it up. But what I like about Lumineon is the fact that it's pretty solid, pretty tanky. I like the fact that it can learn flying moves in addition to the obvious water and obvious ice, but can also learn bug moves too. So it gives you a bit of versatility against those grass Pokemon and bug Pokemon I may run into. So it's pretty neat to have and just, again, very pretty. Love it and get it almost every time I play Gen 4. Now, I do agree with a lot of people in the Pokemon fan base that say Lucario is a bit overrated because it is. It's not as OP as people think and it can be taken down, but I do like to have Lucario in my party as I love the versatility with fighting and steel. Definitely makes for some interesting typing and it has got me out of a lot of jams. Now, the only annoying thing is that you can't get the Riolu egg until you go to Iron Island. Why is everything on Iron Island? And that's not till late in the game, again, near Canlab City. But once you get it, you have to pretty much level it up from a level 1 Riolu after hatching it, and then you finally get your Lucario. It definitely is worth it, but again, good versatility, good speed, and good abilities, which is why I still love to use it to this day. So just to repeat, my ideal Pokemon team in Generation 4 is Infernape, Luxray, Togekiss, Lucario, Lumineon, and Spiritomb. Let me know in the comments which ones you would keep and which ones you will replace, and let me know your ideal Gen 4 team as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe and ding that bell so you know when videos are up. I'm also Real Mama Eagle on all social media platforms, and I do live streams at twitch.tv/RealMamaEagle. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.